Welcome, retro gamers, to Super Mario Summer, the time in the year where I stop to talk about my favorite video game franchise ever, Super Mario. Today we take a I'm not doing this, roll the intro. This is what I get for trying to cover this series. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is not a good game. Matter of fact, this is a game that I try to talk myself out of reviewing. But I said that I would go over every mainline Mario game, and to the absolute disgrace of humanity, this is considered a mainline entry.
I knew that ever since I started this, that right after I made my video about the first game, this was the one that I will have to play right after. An embarrassing confession I have to make is that before reviewing these games, I have actually never finished any of the classic 2D Mario games. Barring the land games, I certainly did play them quite a few times, but I never finished Mario Bros. 2, 3, or World. In fact, my video covering the first game and now this marks as my very first time ever beating them. I guess what I'm saying is that growing up, and even now, I am more familiar with 3D Mario than I am with 2D Mario. But played the classic games as a kid, I sure did. That rhymed. And I remember loving the third game and enjoying World along with liking the American version of 2. Then I got to this game and Jesus Christ. I viscerally remember how awful it was to control Luigi and how I barely beat the first level. So I knew that I had to finish this game for this year, so I did just that. And I fucking hated it. This game was made because of the devs having a lot of fun making hard levels. That's it. Not all the levels are even original, as 6 of them were reused from this one game called Versus Super Mario Bros. A god-awful name, by the way. When the product analysis for Nintendo of America tested this game, he disliked it for being too punishing. So this game was denied a release in America, and Nintendo had no choice but to basically make an entirely new game for the West. This is why when talking about the sequel, you have to be a little bit more specific and either say Lost Levels or USA. I think it goes to show how bad this game really was when it was denied a release on the NES. The NES! A console that became riddled with tons of bullshit games down the line.
And God bless to Howard Phillips, that's the analysis guy. I don't even come close to blaming him for that decision. Some of you may go, come on, it can't be that bad. All I can say back is, play this game for yourself, and you'll immediately understand why it was denied a Western release. Just playing the first level is enough to say it all. As a reviewer, though, I can't really get away with just doing that. So, let's sit back, get out our bottle of cyanide, as we sit through Super Mario Bros. The shit levels.
For the first time on the show, I will not bother with the story, because it is literally the exact same thing as the first ones, so there is no point going over it. So let's start with the controls and abilities. So the best way to describe this piece of shit is seriously just the first game, but worse in every way. I shit you not, there is not a single thing in this game that improves from the first one. Nothing. Literally nothing, and the controls are one of them. Same bullshit physics, same momentum issues, all of it is here. The only new thing is being able to control Luigi, even though that is something that you could do in the first game as well, in Player 2 mode, but whatever. Here Luigi has different physics that allow him to jump higher than Mario and also run faster, but this also results in the momentum issues being even worse, so pick your poison, I guess. Apart from that, we're moving on. Gameplay is the same as before, but just, you guessed it, worse.
If you came to this video to watch me break down this game's mechanics, then just watch my video on the first one. it's more or less the same experience. All this video is good for is giving me opportunities to tell jokes. Fuck it, I have one. This game created one of the worst power-ups in Mario history. Oh wait, that's not a joke, that's actually real life.
Introducing the poison fucking mushroom. This thing kills you when you touch it. So whenever you are hoping for a normal mushroom to pop out, sometimes you now have to worry about it being this one instead. So just like last time, you are one-hit kill Mario for the majority of the game. Fun! Apart from that, everything else is exactly the same. Nothing fixed whatsoever. Level design is the only new talking point that I have for this game. That being with this game having the worst in Mario history. Every single level is poorly designed and has too many tricks that are almost impossible to figure out without a guide. This game also relies a lot on these stupid fucking pick-a-lane levels that appeared here and there in the first game, but now I swear make roughly a third of this game's level count. There's this one level where these big springs from the first game launch you up into orbit, making it impossible to tell where you're going to land, and the clunky controls sure as shit don't help. I just can't get over how poorly designed the levels are in this game. These are levels clearly not built for this game's controls. Could it have really killed them to at least give you infinite lives to at least make this game more manageable? At this point, the last thing for me to mention about this game is the graphics. No point going over the bosses, and no point going over the soundtrack. This game's visual presentation is worth talking about purely because this game looks so fucking ugly. This is one of the ugliest looking games I've ever seen. Sure, the visuals of the first game have dated quite a lot, but it worked around the limitations to make a simple yet appealing art style. Here, it seems as if they tried to enhance the sprites and make them look more detailed. But they didn't do it to all the sprites, so there are some levels that look fine, and then there are some that look like vomit. So not only do the visuals look fuck ugly, but they also look unfinished too. What's with these mushroom platforms here? Who designed these and thought that they looked good? The last major thing that happens is the ending, and instead of a sexy 8-bit princess, we have a not so sexy 8-bit door. Now that's not all, because we do have extra content to unlock. That is, of course, worlds A through D. We get them by simply finishing this game without world warps 8 times.
No!
Yeah, as you can imagine, I'm not fucking doing this. There are a million things that I would rather do in my life than that.
To conclude my overall thoughts on Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, I fucking hated this game, and I'm very much happy to be done with it. This is easily the worst game in the mainline series, and the worst game that I've reviewed thus far. What's extra insulting is just the fact that the sequel didn't even try to improve on anything from the first game. Like, pretty much every sequel that I can think of in gaming, even ones that I consider to be inferior to the originals, at least improve something. This game is basically the only one that I can think of that doesn't even have any of those kinds of qualities. So, pretty pathetic.
On the scale of quality, I'm giving Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels a 3 out of 10. Leave it. The first game on the show to get a bad score.
This will no doubt be the shortest video I will ever make, but luckily the quality of Mario games should increase after this. This was Max Rabbit you just watched. See you on the other fucking side.